I want to ask you about your vocals.
Yes.
You, after all these years, are still hitting those high notes.
Yes.
I've noticed a little bit of the growl in this
Yes.
album.
Right.
And then you've had like a normal line of vocals, I guess a normal way of singing
Right.
that was really surprising to me because your voice is great. How do you protect your voice? How does it stay this good after all these years?
It's just really technique. The voice is much like an instrument, like if Roy Z or Metal Mike are playing guitars. They'll flick a switch and it'll change the pickup, the sound, the tone, the type of strings you use, the amplification. So a human voice is very much like that, you know. Admittedly, in rock and roll, in metal, you have, I think, more opportunities to be a bit more versatile. If you have an intense song, you want to give an intense screaming performance. If you have a song that doesn't demand that type of attack, you switch into a different type of vocal display. And again, I suppose, just going back to what I said earlier about trying to maintain interest. I'm lucky that I've got a voice that I feel can be interesting from track to track, and not singing one particular key or one particular tone, you know. But that it really is just practice, practice, practice. And even now, I enjoy trying to do things that I've not done before, and that's, again, praise goes to Roy Z, my producer, because he really encourages me to try different things when I get behind the mic. But there is no, I don't know, maybe it was something in the water when I was growing up back in England.
It's amazing because there's a lot of singers that were doing that back in the 80s and their voices just aren't what they were.
Yeah, I guess I'm lucky. There have been some inventions recently not so recent, but the in-ear monitors. I think one of the big dilemmas for singers in the early days was having to hear yourself above the noise on the stage, because everything's very, very loud. So the tendency is I've got to sing louder, and that's the fastest way to blow out your voice. I've got a powerful voice anyway, but since these wonderful in-ear monitors have been invented, you see a lot of singers using them now. You can literally make the mix like you're listening to a record at home, and so you can put the intensity into your performance but not overstep the mark and push it too far, and that's when the damage can take place, you know. I mean, I'm croaky now because I've been singing non-stop for like 8 weeks, but the voice is okay. It's the talking voice that sounds a bit rough, but yeah, there are no real rules and regulations. I certainly know for a fact that for singers you need rest, real good quality rest. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't drug. I've been clean and sober for 25 years, so the physical side of what I'm about, I know has some reference to my vocal abilities. So beyond that, it's in the lap of the gods, I think, as Freddie Mercury would say.
Yeah, you've been blessed.
Yes, I've been blessed.
I have a couple more questions for you. One is launching Metal God Records.
Yes.
Why did you choose to launch your own record label?
Well, even in today's world of digital downloads and the internet, which is very important, I still think that in the metal world especially, the fans want the physical product. And if you go to, you know, if you go and see the Lakers, you buy a jersey, you know, the Suns, you buy a jersey. So you want something tangible. So I really feel that's important in the metal world especially, and a lot of other musical channels are providing the same opportunity, but especially metal fans are fanatical for wanting the CD. So we did that first and foremost, but equally I know how tough it is to be successful, you know. For some bands it can be very quick, and it can be almost like a flash in the pan experience. We're trying to make an independent record label that will bring in other talent. Now we've established ourselves. We've shown we can make good quality material, and we've got great worldwide distribution. The doors have been open now. If anybody wants to send stuff to the label, then just look onto robhalford.com. And so we're a little independent label.
That's great.
We've got a long way to go, but we want to give you, whoever you may be, the same care and attention that I got when I started all those years ago with Columbia, CBS, Sony. There was a belief in the 70s that it would take about 3, 4, 5 records before you found your place. It's difficult to do that in today's speed of world, you know, speed of life. So that's what we want to do with Metal God Records.
Has it given you a different approach to doing your own album now that you own the label?
It's an absolute luxury, I got to tell you. I think it's come for me at the right time. I think if it had have come a lot earlier, I could have been a bit frivolous and you know, did not have the background that I think a label needs to have. So now I think is a good time to make it appear and let people see and hear that it's a good little company. We've got a long way to go, but we're there and we're making things happen.
Well, this is my last question. Last question. We're heading into the Christmas holiday.
Yes.
How are you spending your Christmas holiday?
I'll be back in England with my mum and dad. My mum's 82, my dad's 83, and that's again another blessing. Got a brother and a sister, nephews, nieces. You know, we'll all be around the holiday.
Do they call you Uncle Metal God?
My little niece does, Isabella. Yeah, Uncle Metal God, which is really she's absolutely adorable. Yeah, and my aunt is, you know, my dad's sister. My aunt's in her 70s, but she's going on 17 instead of 70, and she always calls me, "Hey, Metal God, how you doing?" She's a total headbanger, you know, 70 something. But yeah, I'll be doing what most people are going to be doing, you know, around the holiday season. So we'll be sharing some food and some laughs and some, you know, beverages and
I'm sure some tales from the road, right?
oh yeah, well, that's going to go in the book. I'm going to do the book eventually.
You're writing a book.
Well, it's been kind of floating in the background, and again, I think if you do something like an autobiography, you do it not towards the end of your career, because I don't think this is the end of my career, but I think when you've got a wealth of things to talk about, I think you do that once, you know. And I feel that the time is looming for that type of thing.
I think that would be a great read.
Yeah, several publishing organisations have already approached me over the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years, and I've said, I'm not ready yet, you know. But I'm feeling that maybe soon there'll be some great stories. I mean, you know, I have to do it now before my metal memory starts to fade. It's my metal memory's intact, and I have lots and lots of friends who I can pick up the phone and say, "Hey, do you remember that time?" Yeah, you did this, you did that, and, you know, get the complete story there. But I tell you, I've been around this world so many times, double digits, and I've met so many incredibly wonderful people, the fans, other people in our profession. So I can't wait to start telling stories. It'll be a very interesting read at some point.
I think it will be a great read. I could sit here and talk to you all night long, but I know you have a show to do.
I love to be a flappy head, as we call ourselves.
Well, we're going to be out there front and center watching you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the time and for giving 96.7 KCAL Rocks this great interview.
Thank you, KCAL. Happy holidays. See you next year.